overall, it was a great assessment.
I agree.
I was very, very proud of the kids, and yeah, I was impressed. Very, very impressed.
So I went ahead and printed off our Buckaloo results per TEAC. So you don't just have your own class, but as a whole, how did we do as a campus?
Thank you.
And then I also printed off the test, so that way we could look at the questions.
Yeah, I have it.
Oh, perfect. So if you want hard copy, it's a hard copy. Also, again, if you
Where do you
want-
go to find the hard copy? And
So you go to author,
Oh,
and then you print off from there.
Yeah,
And
and
then,
sometimes I end up pulling it up instead of like what
When
else
you
I
proctor
want.
it.
Yes,
Right,
yes,
right.
Yeah.
and then if we wanted these, just so we know which TEAC correlated to which question number.
Okay.
And then after we do all that, I have this little win sheet. So by TEAC,
Perfect.
who you want to pull, so you each have 2 of those. Do you want them now or wait?
We can pull
Yeah,
one
so I
second.
figured.
We'll build win groups after we go through
Right.
each one.
Okay, so do we want to look as
I would say
individuals or
start
as,
the readiness
campus?
TEACs.
Yes.
Mhm.
yes.
Honestly, they did very well with the composing and decomposing, which when we first started that unit, I was on the 3.2A.
Oh, my
I
God.
was like, oh my
Yeah.
gosh, you know what I mean? Going from word form
Yes.
and then
Yeah.
into the place value table, so
Yeah.
they grew a lot with
Yes.
that TEAC.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
feel like,
Agreed.
As a campus, we were 90% on that.
Yeah,
TEAC.
which is
Mhm.
great.
That's really good.
so I feel like when we're building our win groups, we don't really need to hit that TEAC as
No,
much.
Right,
Mhm.
just
Agreed. We can put it on win poster just to keep it going.
I would
Right.
say
Yeah.
ongoing review.
It's a good math review one too.
The other one, the 3.2D, which was the comparing and ordering.
How many questions of that did we have?
3.2D,
three.
yeah,
3
so
questions.
6, 7, and 8.
So if they got one wrong, they automatically
I will say, I feel like
67,
that was
yeah.
my area where they either got it or they did not.
Yes.
It was
Yes.
very cut and dry, like
Mhm.
100% or like.
I had a
or
lot
don't
of
got-
60,
don't have it.
I
Right,
had a lot
right.
of 67, so they got one
Yes.
wrong.
Right.
Which is,
And then I didn't have any that got 2 wrong. It was either like they got 1 wrong or they got all of them wrong.
okay.
Right.
There was no in between.
Yep, as a campus, we're at 85.6, so that's pretty good.
I mean, I think with that one, it was mainly for my kiddos, it was number 8, and them actually doing the work of drawing out the number
Correct.
line and
Yes.
putting the start and the end,
Yeah.
and then putting the 3 numbers in between.
Agreed.
Right.
And do they know their signs still?
Right.
Right.
And are they looking at not true,
Right.
and then just picking the one that is true?
Mhm.
Yes.
I mean, my ones that mom did is one's potentially sped and the other's doesn't speak English, so I feel like that's the barrier
Yeah.
we've got there.
Yeah.
Does not understand.
Yeah.
So they're not used to those symbols, like our
Right.
other kids must have, had
Been
it for
exposed
first
to it.
or second grade,
So I like putting for when poster next week, we can put something
Yes.
like number 8 on it,
Yeah.
Okay.
Agreed.
where
We could-
they can put,
And I'm with you on number 8. It was like if they weren't able to like put it in a number line and make sure that all of those numbers were in between the 2 numbers,
Right.
like it was like that
There's a
understanding.
lot of
like,
not wanting to show
they have to
their-
fall in
Right.
between those 2 numbers, and they were
Mhm.
yes.
and then that extra effort.
Mhm.
And it's their first one without a paper copy too. So
Mhm.
Right.
it was, and
Transfer.
with number 8, there's no diagram, there's nothing to go in it for them to compare. They have
They had to
actually
right, there is
draw
no
it
number line
for them
created
to
for them.
see it.
Right.
Yes. And if they didn't do that, then they probably answered wrong.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they picked
Yeah.
A.
They picked
Yeah.
A because it was the
Right.
first choice.
Yeah.
Right. Agreed.
Data, man.
I have that. I have 3.8B written on a sticky.
Yeah.
Like that. It was a supporting TEAC
Well,
nonetheless, but
there were only one.
I
So
know.
it was
only
only
one
one
question.
but still, like
We
we
gotta-
gotta keep making sure that we're including that
Right.
on our.
Well, it was a scaled interval. They
Mhm.
weren't paying attention to.
This-
It went by tens along the
Cheat.
side. Right.
Yes.
And this is, and I put this on
It's on
Win,
Win poster
it's
this
on
week.
Win, and they're still, you're still going to 80
Yep.
and not saying it's 85.
Correct.
They're
Yeah.
not counting
In between.
in
right.
between.
And I don't know what to do about that. Like, we've talked about it, we've drilled it, we've reviewed it, we've done it in small group, we've done it in whole group, we've done it Win poster.
I think we just continue to
Continue.
Right, keep on
have
doing
it as a
Okay.
ongoing review and keep, them seeing it every week.
Right. Giving them that
Hopefully.
strategy, fill in all
Yes,
the lines.
because even on Win Poster
Like,
this
every
week,
day.
it's on there, and the amount of wins that I've opened up, and I'm like looking at them, and I'm like, oh, it's in
not
between the
80.
two numbers,
Yes.
right?
And so they're like, oh, 90.
Yeah,
Nope.
No,
So they don't start at the bottom.
You
Yeah,
have to
look
go,
at the
what's
down.
half?
Right.
What's half of 10?
Yes.
Yeah. And that teak's hard. Maybe on the next test, we might wanna put more than one
I
to
agree,
see
if they actually understand it or
if
not.
they're growing.
Right.
Because with it only one question on that teak, it's like,
It's not showing the growth.
Yeah.
If they're
and is
simply
it
understanding.
they're not understanding the
Right.
concept, or it was just a careless error?
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah. Plus it was like, what, 5 different number, or 4 numbers?
Or
you
had to
had?
add,
Yeah.
they're
Or
picking
2 digits.
205.
They're like, it's close.
And then you still have those some that like to just add them all in one big thing, like, no,
Mhm.
2 at a time, 2 at a time, then you add in your other numbers.
Mhm.
How did y'all's do on 3.88? Cause that's a readiness standard. 3.8B is supporting, so
Mine did
there
pretty
probably won't be as many on STAR.
Yeah,
Right.
mine were kind of all over the place.
We were 86 as a campus. Mine, it was, I had 5 from each
Oh, can you speak up?
class. Project, Katie. No, mine were only 67s or 100s, so mine were pretty successful on that
I
one.
had 230.
Yes.
I
67s.
agree, I'm with you, yeah, they did well. 100 or 67.
Well, and then on this one, which was weird, this was them making the bar graph, right?
Mhm.
Yes.
Miscellaneous.
Yes.
First of all,
Wasn't there.
yeah,
first of all, that word, they're like,
Threw them all.
What does that mean?
Yeah.
okay, and so it
Yes.
wasn't even part of the bar
No.
for
Right,
them.
the amount of
to-
people that asked me, what do I
So-
do with this?
Yeah.
Yes.
So that was already 2 things that was
Mhm.
confusing them before they even went to make their bar graph.
Mhm.
And then it's the key. I mean, are they counting by the key, or are they still counting by one?
So
And-
my thing
or-
was they were counting by the key, but they weren't reading the numbers on the side of the bar
Right.
graph.
Mm.
And so for the watching TV that was at 1, they were going halfway.
Mm.
They weren't reading the numbers on the side.
Okay.
Plus, a few of them were like, well, where is the key? Because it was at the top.
And
when
not
they-
underneath.
So we
Yes.
need to make
It
sure
was
to expose
different.
them to different.
Different
Like
types
some
of
on
issues.
top,
Yeah.
some over here, yeah, all
Yeah.
over. And
Great
then
idea.
2, they had to, if they didn't show their work on their paper, they had to scroll up and down.
Yeah, and
Right,
it's just
so
learning
that's
the
just
computer.
top to
What do
bottom
I
and
do?
having
There's
to
nothing.
scroll,
Yeah, yeah.
I
That's
just think
really hard
naturally
for them to
causes,
do.
Right.
yes, some trouble. And I will say, I have trouble scrolling on a Chromebook, so.
Yeah.
I mean, or I have to teach
Yeah.
them,
Right.
or they
Right.
or they're using their mouse, but
I don't have a lot that bring them.
Mhm.
Right.
So,
but yeah, that was hard. They had to keep scrolling up and down,
up and down. Mhm.
And I will be honest, I did use it as a if they did the work right on their paper, but they didn't know how to use the computer, I used it as a chance to teach them how to use the Chromebook correctly. Like
should
how
be-
to scroll and how to click type thing.
They shouldn't be penalized for not knowing how to
Correct.
take the test in October.
Right,
Yes.
right, agreed.
So I did give them some,
Oh, because it does move up.
it
in
moves
half.
up
Yes.
half,
It
yes.
moves up in half. So if they did 2 clicks,
It would put them in between.
yeah.
Mhm.
And so I did, if their work was correct on the paper, I would double check it and I did let them fix that. Because they
And-
shouldn't be penalized for that.
That half, I feel like is different than the last interactive
It
bar
is.
graph that we had than that. It did
Yeah.
not do it by half, it went
Mhm.
1 click was one
One.
full
Yep.
box
Yeah.
kind of deal,
Yeah.
which to me is a lot more user friendly than that.
Yes.
Right. Agreed.
We might want to remember last year when Teresa made those interactive exit tickets.
That's
in
a great idea.
Euphoria?
There's a couple
They're
in
still
there.
in there, yes.
Yeah, I think one like this
Okay.
Great
would
idea.
be a great exit ticket for us to do, so they're actually practicing making the bar graph
Mhm.
on the computer.
Yeah.
Because this wasn't the skill they didn't know how to do. I feel like this was just technology.
technology.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Right.
Mhm.
There
And that
should be,
they're just
um,
having a hard time
Yeah.
making it.
I agreed.
They have
So-
banked items, so I'll look into that. What
Okay.
kind of banked items.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Mhm.
So I think just practice, we'll just
Our
practice,
graph
practice, practice.
creation.
Alright, rounding, can we just go for it?
Oh, mine did okay.
Oh man, bless their hearts.
It was the 100 with the ones and the tens.
And the
but they
tens.
have to, I tried to
Yes.
really reiterate, like, it has to all be a common place value. So
Yeah.
if you have the number in the
Yes.
hundreds and then
That's
2 in the
fine.
tens,
Mhm.
you have to round to the tens place, because
Okay,
they
yeah.
don't all have a
Well,
hundreds place.
And they also don't know what
Mhm.
posters are. And Vincent,
They get
Vincent
caught up on the
Humphrey
vocab.
posters in his bedroom. What's a poster?
What?
Like,
Yeah,
you
it's the
know,
vocabulary.
Mm-hmm. Oh
Pretty
yeah,
shiny
here we go.
it's a picture that you hang on your wall.
Yeah.
And then they don't know what length is either. It was just, yeah.
There was a lot of
Right.
stuff they would see.
Yeah.
We haven't talked measurement.
Right,
Yes.
it's vocabulary.
Yeah.
Hang
We
on.
haven't been exposed to yet, yeah.
No.
So I talked to my kids, I told them, when you are rounding, look at all the numbers that you're being asked to round in a set and say, you know, what common place value is the same?
Right.
What's the
Yes.
largest place value that they have in common?
Mhm.
That's what you round to. Because, yeah, they don't say
Right.
round to the nearest 10.
No, they're
and-
not going to.
And estimate your sum, so.
So I think it's good because this is exactly what we have on Win this week.
Yes.
Those exact same numbers. But
Yeah.
the string.
String. They're like,
What
what
is-
string?
Literally,
What is
the
string?
I know.
Yes.
Where's
What
the
is
string?
string?
Where's string? I'm like, y'all, it's something I just made up. And string A, string B, string C.
I was
I
like, you're
made up.
measuring how long the string is. They're like,
Yeah.
what? I don't get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, I just think exposure to this with 3 numbers
I've also
and
taught
rounding to a
my,
common place value is important.
when we're rounding to the tens, the answer choices are going to end in 1, 0. When we're rounding to the hundreds, their answer choices all end in 2 zeros. So I've had them look at that as well. Look at your answer choices. Are they 2 zeros or 1, 0?
Mhm.
10 has 1, 0, so you're rounding all to the tens. But it's with the 100. They either just drop it, or 100 disappears.
Right.
Yeah.
And now
Yeah.
it's
Or-
just 27.
And now
Yeah.
it's 27.
Yeah.
Right. Like,
Right.
wait a second. Where'd that
We
go?
talked about the tag
Yeah.
along.
I don't want
the
that
annoying
one.
symbol
Yeah.
you have to bring.
Yes.
We talk about it all the time.
Come into the
I'm
back
like, oh,
seats.
you have a
You
tag
can't
along, you gotta drop them.
You
Yeah.
can't leave them.
I can't leave Hunter and Runner in the car
Yeah.
during Harper's birthday. He's gotta come.
We talk about that every
Yep.
time.
Yes. So I just
Good.
think
Using a
more
common
exposure
vocab.
to that is good.
Okay.
How did we did,
Was that the worst
was
one?
that, no, what team was
No.
that?
That was our worst.
3.4B.
3.4C. The B was.
The B.
Yeah.
3.8B was the solve 1 and 2 step problems with data.
So
that
this was
that
our
so
second.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That was.
But that was still only
70.
2 questions.
Yeah.
Another, so we wanna maybe put more questions on that.
So yeah, our next test we do
3.8B
have
was only one question.
that
Yeah.
tick again. So we will retest that.
Okay.
Yeah, we need to do more.
I'll keep it on Win also.
Yes.
But as a school, we were at 84.28%. That's awesome.
That
For
really is
overall
great.
score?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
And masters was
Almost.
68.9% of our kiddos. That's
Okay.
really good.
That is really good. Way to go, team.
And meets almost 88.
Yeah, that's,
That's
where
incredible.
it matters.
Yeah. So let's celebrate.
Keep pushing.
So what do we think the 2 biggest we should hit in win groups are going to be?
Well, estimation and
Yeah.
And
solving.
yeah, I was
Yeah,
thinking
data
3.4B.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then 3.8B.
B.
Mhm.
So 3.4B and then 3.8B.
Okay.
So I have them all on here because you have your friends that need a little help and everything.
I was also gonna throw this out here.
Yeah.
Cause with Carol, right, like she's getting to know the kids, establishing a relationship with them. If those kids are still your bubble kids, right, which mine are, like
Right,
the 2 that she's already pulling, what do y'all think about her pulling them for this next cycle?
Because she already knows
again?
them. Yeah.
Since she already knows them,
Right,
she
I'm
can
fine
go
with that.
in, grab them, it won't be as disruptive, and she's still developing that relationship with
Yeah.
them.
I think it's great.
unless they have grown and they're not still your bubble kids. But I had noticed my two that she does pull,
Mine are
Worse.
still
But
there.
definitely use at least the confidence of it.
yes.
Yeah.
And the consistency.
Consistency.
I agree.
They love it.
They do.
I love going with her.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Can I ask a question? Is she pulling, like, is she pulling the same group of kids the entire week? It
It's
seems
2
that
days
way.
and 2 days.
It seems that way. Okay, so
No,
maybe
it's
I
supposed
just.
to be
She pulls
Monday,
Tuesday.
From our
Thursday, Friday.
homerooms, right?
Mhm.
And then Thursday, Friday, she pulls from your switch class.
Okay, that's not happening for me, so I'll have to figure that out.
Okay.
She keeps taking from my homeroom, which is fine. He needs it, but
I
Um,
only gave
I
her
just
kids in
didn't-
my switch because my homeroom kids didn't need it, but
Mhm.
she's has switched which
You can
kids she
switch,
pulls.
okay.
Yeah.
That's
Mine's
okay.
just 1 and 1.
I'll just.
Switch one out.
She's gonna switch one out.
Yeah, I mean.
That's fine.
mhm.
And then whatever copies that you make for this, will
Yeah.
you make her a set?
Absolutely, and she can do
Thank
the
you.
exact same thing.
Yes.
Yep.
Alright. I had already started making these.
I did too.
Let's see. This is way more organized though. than
I was gonna
this.
say, my paper
Nice.
copy.
You're welcome.
Thanks so much, Rack.
No problem.
I don't even know how to make these tables and lines.
Oh, just insert a table. Insert.
I'll be on Word like, draw
Yeah.
a line.
Go on YouTube, like Google it.
I actually had to go on YouTube to figure out how to use my Roku TV without the remote. 'Cause
Oh, you lost the
Golden,
remote?
Golden likes to throw things away,
Oh.
so it's gone.
Can you replace them?
I
You
don't
might just
know.
buy the whole new thing for like $20.
It just doesn't have a remote for upstairs, so they don't get to watch TV in bed, which is fine. Honestly, they don't need it.
Yes, I think I'm going to change up my. And then I also had, well, maybe that's what happened. I also had one move.
That is probably what it is.
So, and
You
she
went
was,
confusion
a definitely.
So what are you guys putting on pencil to paper right now?
Oh, we are making our win groups that we will be pulling during our intervention block. And then we're gonna look through Think It Up to find the 2 teaks that were our lowest, what resources we wanna use to do in those small groups during win.
How's y'all's kids doing with, while we're talking about this, how's y'all's kids doing with addition and subtraction?
Fine, unless it's on a number line.
It's
Yeah,
hard. It's
number
hard.
line,
They
Oh,
can't do the
tough.
number line.
Yeah, it's hard.
Standard algorithm, we're getting it.
Yes.
Number line, not so much.
Yeah, it's.
Yeah.
it's definitely-
Base 10, they love drawing the pictures in the base 10. Yes,
Mhm.
yes, yes.
This is not what I needed. That just- I do think we need to show them though on a number line while we're doing it, straight lines. Not,
Yes.
not hops, because
agree.
when we get to
Yeah.
the word problems where they're adding and subtracting the
Right.
multi-step,
Forward.
it does
Backwards.
straight lines.
Mhm.
So I think while we're teaching them how to do it on a number line, also show them that this
Straight
can
across.
be plus, yeah, straight.
Okay.
Also show them when we get to strip diagrams, which is tomorrow, show them that the hole can also be on the bottom. And it can also be a straight line, just saying the hole.
Bracket.
Yeah, the bracket, not a box.
Yep.
Just expose them to all of it from the very beginning. Ooh, I like this one. Gina has a small library of her favorite books. The list shows the types of books she has. So 173 novels, 127 biographies, 102 poetry books, which does not describe a way to estimate the total number of books in Gina's library. And then it's giving, they have to, if it's giving the equations, and they have to find the one, the correct rounded numbers equaling
Oh, okay.
the total.
ELA, get on.
Oh, all those
vocabulary.
vocab.
I liked how for when the last like round that we did of this, I cut them up and made them like little task cards. That way in my small group, rather than giving them all, and then like I could just pick and choose what little like
Yeah.
cards to like do
Right.
as like, and then I could use them for
Yeah.
several days and see more kids if I needed to.
Yeah, 'cause you could just give them the little piece of paper.
Little, yeah.
Yeah.
And then I put them in baggies and labeled them with the teak. That way next year in the future you
Good
can
to
just
go.
pull them out and have them.
Wait, what was this?
For our last round, whenever our last
Oh,
common
the-
assessment, all the think up stuff, I just
Yes.
cut them apart and like made them little task cards, and then I grouped them, and then I just
Yeah.
kept them and just
Instead of
kind of
just having the whole page.
exactly and just like organized them and
I like
pulled
that.
like so many questions
Yep.
every day.
So what we're looking on here, Jill, is our student learning standard breakdown on Eduphoria. And so we've highlighted for each of the teaks that we're hitting, which student didn't do as well. Can you see that? Sorry. And so then we're looking through each teak to build the win groups based on those teaks.
Thank you.
I was very impressed with how much they wanted to show their work.
Mhm.
Yes, they did. And mine really like the clear sleeves with the markers
Mhm.
over the
They
Chromebook.
do.
It really seems
Yes.
to help a good bit of them.
And it seems to help with the graphing questions.
Correct.
The most.
I had them actually like building dot plots and numbering every dot plot, which was awesome to
Mhm.
see.
Great. Good job. That
Mine is just such a drastic difference between my two classes. Like the amount of kids that get it in the morning versus the afternoon make win groups really hard.
Yes. Extra Lonnies in the afternoon. Is he doing better?
He is, and actually, that's who I switched out. My Tanika, she moved, and so I switched out and have him going because he is a bubble kid and he's very capable. So I think I will keep him.
I think I've seen a difference in his attitude also, especially at recess. It's probably that relationship piece that
I-
you're building with him.
Yeah, he's I actually filling out my second 9 weeks for just to put in for the Friday folders, and I was like, you know what? I was like, I'm writing Great Week on here. Like pump him up a little bit, you know, because he's a sweet, sweet boy. But yes, he's doing better.
That's good. He's boy for sure.
Yes, he is. Yeah.
Alright. I'm looking up 3.4B rack if you want to do 3.8B.
I can look also since I'm done. Here.
Yeah, you can use them.
You want me to focus on? Yes.
You want to do
What else could we work on?
you want to do compare and ordering 3.2D.
Got it.
I did really well with 3.8A, the rounding with the number line, where does it go? Where they actually gave the number line
Yes.
and plotted it, they did really well with that.
I think we just need to put as many word problems.
And I still really like the sum of, and whenever it's like 16 hundreds
Yeah.
or 16 tens,
Yes.
it's like, what do we have to do? When you
Yes.
have that many, oh, you gotta regroup, or, you know, and like having those conversations.
Yeah, having the trades with the
Mm-hmm.
place value blocks and the whole.
Yes.
Yep.
Did we finish making our common assessment? That
No.
one we started at big
Nah.
picture?
We didn't finish it,
Didn't
no.
finish
We
everything.
have the questions
We have the
pulled, we
questions.
need to actually get that finished into educator.
And we
Okay.
started putting it in,
Yeah.
and then
We
we
can
had
do
to
that
hang
Tuesday
up
next week?
somewhere.
It was the bar graphs. You had to insert a bar graph, and it was copying and pasting.
We can talk to Julie about how to do that.
Oh.
Someone's gonna have to help us with that.
It's just learning the system, right? And like how you can, we were having trouble like
I was like, legit.
copying it to like pull it over.
I think we were like, we need to use an actual computer, not a Chromebook.
Oh, I
Right.
think that's.
That was the problem.
The two monitors.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so we can do that Tuesday maybe? Work that out.
Yes. We can look at exit tickets too, the interactive
Yeah.
exit tickets.
That's a good idea.
Science fair things, are y'all okay if we do sound energy?
Yes,
Yes.
absolutely.
I have tuning forks.
I gotta submit that.
Oh, here's, they all line up.
These are good things for Carol. Like I love these games
Yes.
where they can spin and then they can pair numbers, or you know, or they can even show it like expanded form or different forms of numbers, and they can compare that way. But these books have great
Yeah.
little
We can give her some of that.
activities.
Each one will see number cubes and records the numbers on the first column of the table. Third, number 20.
Are you gonna do the copying again, Lawrence?
Yeah, that's fine. Y'all just mark it and I'll make everybody.
Is there any other we wanna look at? I just did 3.2A, and these are all good.
Was
3
5
point-
enough or do y'all want more than that?
Comparing numbers.
Will you do 6?
Yeah.
'Cause I have 6 stalls.
Sure.
3 2B.
I can give you Austin's data if you need it for any reason too. He did pretty well.
It's showing.
It's showing on you?
Yeah.
Okay, good. He's on me too.
Wait.
It's just one.
I like
section.
these where they have to put the numbers in and then make sure the symbols are correct. This throws them off big
Right.
time.
Oh,
have to
Especially
show-
when there's 3.
They
Yeah.
have the symbols and they stick the
And
numbers
they
in,
have
yeah.
to, yes, to make it true. I forget what it was on. I think it was maybe a math or seat, but it was like
Statistic?
mind blowing. Like, how do I?
It was
what do I
the
put
think
in
up
here?
map of your seat last week.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
So I like those.
Money.
I like those.
Okay, so 131, 132, and 135.
Okay.
This is cool. Comparing numbers baseball. It's just a roll a cube, and they have to. There's 2 players, and they have to, depending on how many times they roll, they could they have to roll like 3 times or 4 times to make a number, 5 times or 6 times. These are also feel like good things that we could put as may-dos, like for
Yes,
your.
yeah, I like
Very
those.
much so.
Yeah.
And so I gave y'all the roll, kind of a similar roll
Oh, I like-
around thing, and it was like, I think it was all the way up to the thousands or 10,000s place, but there's multiple.
Mm-hmm.
And I've made that a may-do for my, you
It's
know,
a great idea.
and they can,
It's in my Maydo bucket as well.
yeah, just little activities that they can,
When it gives them an incentive to get it done because they want to do the may-dos.
Right.
yeah. page on that?
Yeah, it's a supporting teak.
Okay.
There's probably not a lot.
Is there anything with like the number line, like ordering, not just comparing, but ordering as well?
No. That's when like it's kinda,
Well, and I know we don't wanna go into our bank of lead forward, cause we're gonna
Right.
use those for the future.
Right.
I mean, Ada needs to locate the numbers, 278, 315, 347 on this number line. Which of these statements is true? All the numbers are located between, I mean, those are good questions.
Mm-hmm.
And they have to decide if they're all of them fit, kind of similar to those. Do all of these come in between these two numbers?
Right.
They all live on
Yeah.
this number line.
I'll put this on here too. Which group of numbers is closer to 30 than 20?
It's an aggressive post-it note. It's tearing the.
Hey, killer science plans, you two.
We're trying.
We're really I love it. I was studying them yesterday. Well, and then I had to figure out how to use.
The Savas is not user friendly.
It's not user
I've been
friendly.
to two trainings on it and they keep saying it is not a user friendly, like you cannot just tell it what page number to skip to in the teacher book.
No.
You have to scroll 185 pages.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
They were like, there's
I
no way
was
to do
playing
that.
on that yesterday. I was like, okay.
They've got some really good stuff on there.
I did have one question on the Explore Day 2. It says daily grade energy sort. Where's the sort?
So that one, in order to do the energy sort, you're gonna have to do the brain pops on sound and light as well. And it's sorted, it was like it said like mechanical,
I
lighting,
copied them for everything.
sound,
boxes.
and energy. It had 16 boxes. And on the second page, there was like things they had to cut out.
Oh, I don't
So
have
it's
that.
a staple.
You don't have it
All
on?
of our copies have been wonky. We'll get you a set of them.
Yes,
Because I was like,
I,
oh, I don't have that.
Okay.
And
Yes.
I printed, there was one thing on Savas about energy.
Yeah.
I just printed that yesterday. I haven't made copies of it though, but because if y'all have that, then.
Our
yeah,
copies
we
been
have a
really
sort,
weird.
and then I printed everybody the concept quiz, which if you,
I have the concept
Okay.
quiz. Mhm.
We'll get you
I'll get
copies
you
of that.
the
Someone
sort.
may have the
Mhm.
extra copies of the sort too, because it,
Mhm.
I didn't have the two spot check today. I went and made copies. My stuff has been all.
All right, so are we starting this next week? Full
Yeah.
week, right?
I think so.
perfect.
I'll get these done and get them to you.
Cool beans. Fantastic. What our
Oh.
sped kids do.
I was impressed, my 2 in the afternoon, well, I have more than 2, but, they got 50s. I was like really proud of them. Like, I was like, that's good. It was, to me, that was a win.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
64. That was good.
We got 50, Avery got
That was 35, but, you know,
mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have a 35.
he tries his best.
And a 71, that was good. Like, they did, I was very impressed.
Well, I was looking at as our campus,
Oh, yes, this one.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, that brings it
Down
down
at the
to
bottom. Master's grade level 54.5%.
Yeah, that's what
That's
I was
pretty
saying.
That's great.
77.9 overall.
Mead's grade level 77. Hey, that's a victory.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Nice. I mean, overall, I was super impressed.
Good job.
Left that day feeling pretty good, you know?
My feet hurt.
Yeah, I just walked around a lot during that.
Yeah.
Mhm. It was another one where I didn't let them go to the next question until I saw something
Same.
on the paper.
I think I'm gonna do that for a while on these math
And
tests.
it makes a big
because
difference.
It does, cause they'll just.
Because they can't just blow through it. It's like, I need to see, even
It's
if it's, obviously, you know, it's like, I have to see something.
Well, it's a good test taking strategy come STAR, because you can't tell them to put
Right,
something on
right.
paper come
Mhm.
STAR, but we can
But
now.
they
Train
know
them.
what the
Train them out.
expectations, you know my expectations. I
Yep.
tell them. I'm like, yes, with the shore work, I'm like, yeah, you do.
Yes, you do. I had
And
a
I
couple
tell
ask
them,
for
and then I'm
more
like,
paper.
look y'all, I'm like, you showed your work on every question, what a difference it has made.
Well, then I have some
What
that,
a
once they
difference.
submit, they're using their work to go back and see where they messed up,
Mhm.
which has been really great, that they're like self-reflecting on that pretty quick.
Yeah.
Okay. We're good?
Alright.
Alright. Found some, item test bank items. I'll look through, I haven't found anything for.
For
graphics.
exit tickets?
Mhm.
Okay,
For
interactive,
digital exit.
that would be good.
So next week
Did you get that
we'll,
sign put outside your
Yes,
door?
thank you.
we'll focus on getting that other test
Completed.
Yes.
completed,
Mhm.
okay.
I think we should be able to knock that out on Tuesday.
And because I think we picked all of the questions.
We did.
It's just
Yes.
physically inputting the
We got to a
questions.
weird point
Yes.
that we needed a computer and not a Chromebook, and we just kind of ran out of time, so.
Yeah, it was time to.
And then red and greens for it,
Yes.
that will come, that's
That'll
gonna
come
come
quick.
fast, 'cause we have
Mhm.
interims too,
Yes,
in
November.
November.
We have a CFA next week.
Mm-mm. No, not for a little bit.
Not till
There's a couple
December,
break, yeah.
Yeah.
right? And that when our next CFA.
I don't have my
So our,
calendar
it's
with me.
the last 2 weeks of the 9 weeks.
For the
Yeah.
QA?
So
For the
December.
QAs, yeah, so it would be,
That seems to be the protocol, right? They
Yeah.
give that 2 week
It's a
window
2-week
at the
window.
end
Yeah.
of the grading
so
I
cycle.
December
do
9th
think
through the 20th.
That we need to not take one of those on the very last day,
No, we need to
because
move
that was
that
stressful.
social
Well, and it's
studies.
it takes them a long time, these kids take a long time to
They're,
test.
they do.
Yeah.
Mhm.
They went pretty quick through the social studies one, because there was no work to show.
Science.
Right,
Yeah.
but, I mean,